of today's event. Today's event is extremely important, one that is extremely close to my heart as well, considering the fact that I run a small, medium enterprise, depending on which one of the 1,200 definitions we have for small, medium enterprises in this country. While I was working on this project, putting the agenda together, trying to bring a great lineup of speakers, I did it with a tremendous amount of frustration. Frustration that has been basically brewing for the past maybe 5 or 6 years since the inception of Global Trade Matters as an entrepreneurial idea. Quite bald in sense of what it is that we do. We're a services company, we're a think tank, we're a private sector think tank for profit. How do you make that bankable? And that's what we have been trying to get across to the larger organizations, the banking institutions, the non-financial institutions. But we're not alone. There's about 1.2 million, I believe, small, medium enterprises in this country that most of them are considered to be non-bankable. So today we're gathered to define what small, medium enterprises are, define what bankable is, and through my conversations with a lot of the speakers here, a lot of the organizations that are supporting this event, and this is an unofficial number, but we've sort of counted about 6 billion Egyptian pounds worth of SME funds that are across the board. Bank Al Ahli, Bank of Alexandria, Social Fund for Development, Abraj, and I hear numbers up to 250 million, 700 million US dollars by Abraj. So there is a good amount of money out there. The question is, what are we going to do with that money? How are we going to cascade that money down to the small, medium enterprises that really need the money at this point? We've survived. We've survived the Asian financial crisis. We've survived the liquidity crunch. We've survived the devaluation of the Egyptian pound. We've survived the global financial crisis without having any support, and I truly mean it, without having any support from the financial institutions, because the concentration has always been on bigger companies, large factories, people that take advantage of subsidies. We are not in the scope. Now, things have changed. There's a lot that has been done. A lot of companies are changing their attitudes. A lot of the financial organizations are starting to realize that without supporting small, medium enterprises, the economy of this country will not continue to flourish. So both the government and the private sector have woken up, smelt the coffee, decided that they need to help us, decided that we need their support. Now, support comes in a lot of different ways. And I'm not just talking about lending, because I have some examples here that, of people that helped us in creating the concept and the idea of the business that we're trying to run. They didn't lend us the money, they didn't buy into us, but what they did was support our idea through sponsorships, through their presence, through their time actually being here. And that brings me to our first speaker of the day, someone that I have a tremendous amount of respect for. A lot of the small, medium enterprises, people that have gone, knocked on the door of their bank, have received the help. They've invested a tremendous amount of money, both in microfinance and today in small, medium enterprises, so we can have that migration from micro to SME at one point. They've created a toolkit that will be able to help us, but we're still asking for more. And as much as we appreciate the support and the sponsorship and the belief and the faith in what we do, now we want to make that equitable. We wanted to make it bankable. We need more support. Mahmoud Abi Abdul Latif, the chairman of Bank of Alexandria and one of the greatest supporters of small, medium enterprises, please.
Sabah al-Khair. Thank you very much, Ashraf. And again, thanks to Global Trade Matters for not only supporting SMEs and other activities, but really helping in pushing everyone. Let me say this. I mean, I'll not be diplomatic about what's happening. I mean, Global Trade Matter and Ashraf personally has been pushing organizations, banks, entities to do something, to have a role, to really, as we say, chip in and give it a push.